Hello everyone, welcome back to WorldComEDU Izistoryhaus series. My name is Brian Stuart. Okay, we're continuing to look at stories as part of this group storytelling project. Now this project is very good for students to learn English with. Each student takes part of the story and they will read it from the book or from memory. And each story has a great life lesson as well. So the children get to practice vocabulary. They learn how that vocabulary is used in many different expressions. And hopefully they also learn an important life lesson along the way. Now this story here that we're taking a look at, this is called The Magic Fish. It is another one of the Grimm Brothers fairy tales. As you know, the Grimm Brothers were a German. They went around and collected a lot of German folk tales and put them down in books. That's been translated into many languages, of course in English as well. And most English kids or kids who are grown up or raised in an English learning environment know these stories, as well as many kids from many other countries around the world. Now this particular story, The Magic Fish, is kind of similar perhaps to another famous story you may have heard about Aladdin and a genie who gives 3 wishes. If you could have wishes, if you could find something that could grant you your wishes, your desires, what would you wish for? Well, in this story, we learn the lesson of greed. When somebody wishes for too much and they're not happy with what they have, then there can be some negative consequences. What happens? Well, we have to read the story to find out. So let's enjoy listening to the story and reading the story together.
Izistoryhaus, The Magic Fish. There is a poor fisherman. He has a bad wife. They live in a small house by the sea. Every day, the fisherman goes to the sea. He fishes all day long. One day, the fisherman drops his line into the sea. Then he sits and waits. But his line goes deep into the water. The fisherman pulls on the line. He pulls and pulls. And out of the water, he pulls a beautiful fish. The fish says, "Put me back in the water." The fisherman is surprised. The fish says, "I'm a magic fish. Please let me go." The fisherman says, "Yes, of course. Go free." He puts the fish back into the sea.
Page 5. Then the fisherman goes home. The fisherman's wife says, "Good catch today." The fisherman says, "Guess what?" Then he tells his wife about the magic fish. His wife says, "A magic fish. Ask for a wish." The fisherman says, "Why? We don't need anything." His wife says, "Yes, we do." We need a pretty house.
Page 7. His wife says, "Go back to the fish. Asked for a pretty little house." The fisherman says, "I don't want to." His wife cries, "Go!" So the fisherman goes back to the sea. He calls the fish. The fish shows up. He says, "Yes." The fisherman says, "My wife asked for a wish. She wants a pretty house." The fish says, "Go home. Your wife has it now."
Page 9. The fisherman goes home. He can't see his small house. He can see a pretty house. His wife says, "Oh, the house is so beautiful." The fisherman says, "Yes, it is. Are you happy now?" His wife says, "Yes, I'm really happy." But she is only happy for 1 week. She thinks the house is too small. She says, "Go back to the fish. Ask for a big castle." The fisherman says, "I don't want to." His wife cries, "Go!" Page 11. So the fisherman goes back to the sea. He calls the fish. The fish shows up. He says, "Now what do you want?" The fisherman says, "My wife asked for a wish again. She wants a big castle." The fish says, "Go home. Your wife has it now." The fisherman goes home. He can't see his pretty house. He sees a big castle. His wife says, "Oh, the castle is so beautiful." The fisherman says, "Yes, it is. Are you happy now?" His wife says, "Yes, I'm really happy." But she is only happy for 2 weeks. She wants more. She says, "Go back to the fish. Tell him I want to be queen." The fisherman says, "I don't want to." His wife cries, "Go!"
Page 14. So the fisherman goes back to the sea. He asks the magic fish for the wish, and the fish makes the wife queen. The fisherman's wife asks for more wishes. She is never happy. She always wants something more.
Page 16. The fish gives her everything. But he gets angry. He gets very angry. The fisherman thinks his wife has everything now. He is wrong. His wife says, "Go back to the fish. Tell him I want to move the sun and moon." The fisherman is surprised. He says, "That is too much. You have everything you need." But his wife cries, "Go!"
Page 18. So the fisherman goes back to the sea. He calls the fish. The fish shows up. He says, "Well, what does she want now?" The fisherman is worried. He says she wants to move the sun and moon. The fish says, "No, your wife is too bad. Go home." Now she's back in the small house, and she's still there today.